is the moment. I mean, the first big release after Cyberpunk 2077.
Very excited to be returning as Johnny Silverhand in the upcoming expansion for Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty.
Attention all Dogtown residents. The President managed to crash her Space Force One into our humble district.
Ich glaube, dass sie auf gar keinen Fall nochmal so eine katastrophale Situation haben wollen wie beim Launch von Cyberpunk 2077.
Der Release von Cyberpunk 2077 ist auf jeden Fall in die Geschichte der Videospiel-Release eingegangen, weil meiner Meinung nach gab es noch nie so einen krassen Unterschied zwischen der Versprechung und der Realität. Das Narrativ war, dieses Spiel wird alle anderen Videospiele in den Schatten stellen.
Please welcome Keanu Reeves.
Cyberpunk is really going to be breathtaking.
The expectations were super high. The hype was probably the biggest one in the history of gaming.
Ich war echt im Hype. Ich habe schon ein halbes Jahr vorher gesagt, Leute, ich mache den nächsten 24-Stunden-Stream, wenn Cyberpunk rauskommt.
Und dann kam das Spiel, Ende 2020.
Es gab Bugs, du konntest gewisse Missionen nicht zu Ende bringen. Es gab Abstürze. Es war eine Shitshow.
Das gipfelte ja sogar darin, dass Sony selbst entschieden hat, das aus dem PlayStation Store rauszunehmen.
Der Aktienkurs ist immens eingebrochen und dieser Shitstorm war immens. Also ich glaube, weltweit war die Gamerschaft einfach angepisst und hat einfach gesagt, CD Projekt Red ist einfach jetzt unten durch.
Dann bin ich aufgewacht und mein DM-Postfach war halt irgendwie voller Pöbeleien und Morddrohungen.
When you're very high, the fall is very painful. For me, the Phantom Liberty is this final word that we can say and we can show basically what we wanted to do. What we actually really wanted the players to feel, what we wanted to give them, what the game was supposed to be.
From the distance you can see how stressful and unhealthy it could be for your body, for your family, for your relations. And yeah, it's a tough story.
I have no hands.
What's this shit?
I have no hands. It's also my notebook. I started it when we started Cyberpunk, so that note was about like literally first prototypes about Cyberpunk scene system, and yeah, and that it went, and you know, here it's like all calm and collected, as you can see, and then it gets more hectic, you know, and here's just, you know, signs of a sweat from my fingers and tears. It's just, yeah, so I kept that notebook actually from like Cyberpunk till Phantom Liberty, so maybe, you know, it was shipped when I finish it. It's just like last few pages left. I should have like hands now. We'll see. I have hands. You can see I have hands, actually.
After the release, I was actively looking for work. I had some interviews. I was really, thinking of leaving. I came here to do a thing, and I did the thing. And to be honest, my original plan was always to ship Cyberpunk 2077 and leave. I came here, I did the thing, and it didn't go exactly as I wanted it to, but that I had done the thing that I came here to do. And it would have been easier to go somewhere else and not have to put up with having my name or my colleagues' names dragged through the mud every day. I look around at these cats, and most of these cats are special breeds. And these are animals who've had their genetics fucked with by people for purely aesthetic purposes. And I'm guilty of this. I own a purebred cat. And this is a cyberpunk element, but this is something that we've been doing our entire, the entire time that our species has existed, is adapting our environment to suit ourselves, and sometimes maladapting our environment that becomes ill-suited for us, as we're, experiencing now. These cats make me think of Cyberpunk because look at them. They're super fucked up, but they're adorable, and you love them more. I don't know, just these little fuckers. These little fuckers, I love them. I love them. There's something very alluring about Cyberpunk. And I felt this since I first read Neuromancer when I was a kid, or watching Ghost in the Shell. As brutal and as nasty and as indifferent as that world is, there is a sexiness to it. There's a style that just can't be beat. I like the fact that the cyberpunk genre can take one of my favorite fictional genres, hard-boiled and noir, and blend them with a sci-fi headiness, but it's gonna be about the nature of consciousness, or what does it mean to be a human?
Das Cyberpunk-Genre ist ja an sich ein wahnsinnig faszinierendes Genre, weil es ja sich um so existenzielle Fragen dreht. Wo beginnt der Mensch, wo beginnt die Maschine, wenn beides irgendwie anfängt zu verschmelzen, plus diese dystopischen Welten, wie wir sie aus Blade Runner kennen, die beherrscht werden von Megakonzernen, während die Reichen in ihren Wolkenkratzern tanzen und die Armen sich irgendwie auf den Straßen ihr Leben zusammenkratzen.
Ich bin auf jeden Fall ein riesengroßer Fan vom Cyberpunk-Genre, weil das für mich so die Art von verstörender Zukunftsdystopie ist, die sich gar nicht mehr so weit entfernt anfühlt, irgendwie mit diesem riesige, kaputte Großstädte und alles ist irgendwie technologisch und gleichzeitig gibt es eine unfassbare Schere zwischen Arm und Reich und dieser technologische Fortschritt nützt eigentlich nur den Reichen. Das finde ich leider sehr realistisch und fühlt sich an, als würde es kurz vor der Tür stehen.
Also an sich ein sehr politisches und sehr, sehr spannendes Setting, was im Gaming aber bis Cyberpunk 2077 fast keine Rolle gespielt hat.
Start now.
Das Spiel selber, in dem geht es ja darum, dass Vi, unser Hauptcharakter, versucht, aus diesem System auszubrechen. Eine Person, die aus sehr bescheidenen Mitteln kommt und die nun versucht, den großen Auftrag zu machen, um halt reich zu werden, berühmt zu werden und sich über all das hinwegzusetzen.
V, can you hear me? Good, it worked. My name is Songwood. I'm an NUS intelligence analyst. Hopped on the Relic's cognitive protocol to dial in. I see and hear what you do. I know about the bomb ticking in your head, and I can save your life. But first, I need you to get to that swollen appendix in Night City called Dogtown.
In Phantom Liberty ist es so, dass wir dem Spiel selber noch einen weiteren Distrikt hinzufügen. Dogtown ist ein Distrikt, der komplett gesetzlos ist. Also das ist im Prinzip ein abgeschotteter Bereich von Night City, der komplett autonom ist. Und hier regiert ein gewisser Kurt Hansen, der mithilfe seiner militärischen Truppen oder Paramilitärs den Distrikt übernommen hat und hier einfach seine eigenen Gesetze macht.
If you're running from the cops, this is a great place to go. If you're trying to get away from the corporations, Kurt Hansen keeps them out. If you operate by Kurt Hansen's rules, you can actually live here.
This is Kurt Hansen. If you're hearing this, you've come to the right place. NCPD, gang wars, not in Dogtown. Taxes, who the fuck needs them? In Dogtown, I keep your business safe, as long as you abide by my rules.
Ich habe das Gefühl, nicht nur bei mir selber, sondern auch bei meinen Kollegen, dass da halt wirklich dieser Elan drin ist, um das der Welt nochmal zu zeigen, dass der Launch ein sehr hässlicher und schmerzhafter Ausrutscher war, aber hoffentlich ein Ausrutscher. Ja, also für uns ist zum Beispiel ganz wichtig, dass wir halt so, das nennen wir intern Visual Language, dass wir so eine visuelle Sprache halt etablieren, mit der wir halt mit den Spielern kommunizieren können, ohne dass die das so wirklich merken, ohne dass wir Worte benutzen. Ja, für uns ist in dem Spiel eine ganz starke Signalfarbe gelb und hier ist es eben der Gedanke, als Spieler erfährt man, hey, der Fahrstuhl ist kaputt und dieses super gelbe Kabel hier wird halt jetzt, wenn man es so ein bisschen erklärt, natürlich super offensichtlich, aber führt dann entsprechend zur Lösung. Und das ist eben sowas, wo wir im Leveldesign, das nennen wir Spielführung, Player Guidance. Und das soll eben dafür sorgen, dass Spieler und Spielerinnen eben zum Ziel finden, ohne dass wir denen aktiv sagen müssen, hey, das ist Sache. Eine Sache, die ich besonders auch noch cool finde, ist, dass dieser Shot, der ist ja jetzt besonders cineastisch. Und zwar benutzen wir hierfür einfach die Momente, wo wir wissen, dass es nur einen Ort gibt, wo die Spielerinnen lang gehen können. Also ist der Shot quasi gesetzt. Und entsprechend auch in Situationen wie diesen, wo halt die Spielerinnen keine Kontrolle über die Kamera haben, können wir dann eben dafür sorgen, dass die Shots sehr filmisch hochwertig auch dargestellt sind. Ihr seht auch wieder hier die gelbe Rutsche, ne, gelb als unsere Signalfarbe. Und ebenso ist auch dieser Shot jetzt. Jetzt habe ich wieder Kontrolle über die Kamera. Der ist natürlich sehr vorsichtig aufgesetzt als Establishing Shot für das neue Areal, dass die Spielerinnen sofort sehen, okay, hier ist es anders, hier ist es cool, hier ist es fancy, dieser Distrikt unterscheidet sich visuell von den anderen Distrikten und gleichzeitig ist aber die Komposition auch so angesetzt, mit dem Hell-Dunkel- und Farbkontrasten, die wir haben, dass eben suggeriert wird, dass die Spielerinnen hier lang gehen sollen. Vom Umfang selber glaube ich, dass das tatsächlich mit einer der größten Erweiterungen ist, wenn nicht sogar die größte, die wir je gemacht haben. Und dieses bigger, better und höhere Ambition, muss man sagen, ist ein Teil von CD Projekts DNA.
Wir haben in den USA ein Activision Blizzard, wir haben ein Electronic Arts, wir haben in Europa Ubisoft und so. Das sind große, prominente Firmen, die halt in der allerersten Liga dieser Spieleentwicklung mitspielen. Und CD Projekts Ambitionen waren immer zu sagen, da wollen wir hin.
At the beginning, we were young and we were not very experienced. So we thought that Our goal is to become an international company. So our ambitions were big because we knew nothing. This lack of knowledge at the beginnings gave us superpowers to move forward. It was 20 years ago. We started in this very small group in Łódź. I was born in Łódź, so it's very important to me. I left Łódź for many, many years, long time ago. That's right. And to the right, once again?
Where? Like this way?
Because sometimes they allow us to park there. It was inspired me because Łódź was always full of art and pop culture events, full of them. There's one fun fact that the name Red Studio came from Łódź as well, because Łódź is full of red bricks buildings. Michał Kiciński, Marcin Niwiński, they had an idea, very good one, to create an RPG game based on Andrzej Sapkowski's books in The Witcher. And for me it was like, whoa, this is it. We have to do it. We have to do it. We have to join and create this wonderful game. There's an exhibition, a special path, how to make games, and it's Witcher-oriented. This is the first sketch for the Witcher character in the game, for the first Witcher game. And it was a long process, but Przemek Truściński, the author, finally made it, and this is it. And it's so nice that it's in a museum, because it's so important for us.
I love the books, the Witcher books. Like in Poland, at least in my times, it was like this, that basically around like high school, maybe a bit earlier, everyone was reading those books. Everyone. So like knowing that CD Projekt's building that, it was just like a dream really to join them. And at that time, Witcher 1 was out and Witcher 2 was just published, and I played it and I absolutely loved the game. There was like so many things that were unique about Witcher, and one of the things was the fact that it was reaching out for the very Slavic roots. It was so different and fresh because at that time, that was something you couldn't see anywhere. Anglo-Saxon culture was so dominant. So that was like intriguing, reaching out for like what made us unique and sort of like turning it into something very attractive. And I was like, oh God, I really want to work on this. I really want to work on the next one because I knew they will be doing the Witcher 3, the next game.
Where the quest takes place?
I applied to the project for 6 times, actually. So like that was the 6th time when I was actually in a recruitment process. And they sent me a task. It was a really difficult one. I had to like sit like 7 days like straight. I almost didn't sleep on that task because it's a recruitment task that you're doing. So what you have to do like is a specific thing. In this case, I had to design a story, implement it in the engine and like send it to them. And in 7 days, it's like a hardcore task. But I've done it and they kind of liked it. So just Witcher was such a big thing and CD Projekt were already such a big thing that them together, it felt like just an incredible thing to do.
Spätestens zu Witcher 3 ist die Relevanz von CD Projekt einfach immens in die Höhe gestiegen. Denn das Spiel hatte eine unglaublich glaubwürdige Welt. An Open-World-Games haben die Messlatte ganz nach oben gepackt.
nach The Witcher 3 ist CD Projekt einfach explodiert. Plötzlich war dieses Studio auch international für alle, die Rollenspiele lieben oder die überhaupt Gaming lieben, auf der Landkarte.
Spätestens nachdem Witcher rausgekommen ist, haben so viele Leute natürlich nicht nur dieses Spiel geliebt, sondern haben auch gewertschätzt, wer dieses Spiel entwickelt hat.
It was a level of being like a rock star of a Rage Against the Machine frontmans. You know, it was just as being a star of such a magnitude that literally everyone knew who you were, where you work. Like it was just so highly regarded.
Look! Get back.
From the childhood, I was super amazed with the computer games, so I was spending tons of time, but the difference was that I was always trying to understand how does it work. So I spend mostly twice much time than a usual player, looking for some details, exploring, licking the walls and trying to understand, okay, it's amazing, but where's the magic?
Dzisiejsza nazwa już...
Nie widzę, bo nie jest po... This room looks like a common room for the player during the communist era, and that just after. That's why the museum has this space arranged that way. And I like it. Cassettes. And you had to put this into this device and wait while the strange, sounds were played, like for 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get something on screen, which is white and gray and black. But all the universes on the screen were so, addictive that we spent whole days playing those games all over again. If you have this adrenaline rush for a long time, you don't feel sick. So I had no time to think about myself. I just jumped from one project to another, and I was running another mile. But it's from the distance you can see how stressful and unhealthy it could be for you, for your body, for your family, for your relations. And yeah, it's a tough story.
Generic stuff, it just didn't feel, like anything.
Like it's rewarded in any way beside the encounter?
Yeah.
Will it behave in any special way or just a reskin of the original
I think
ones?
the quest team is almost 20 people who are like right now working all the time on Phantom Liberty. At this point, we are like almost done with the game. This is like the time when we are putting the finishing touches for everything. There's a pretty intense period because we need to make sure that everything is like bug fixed and polished and looks properly. We're doing like last directional changes and so on, making sure that there's the proper feeling to it. Implementing music and light, making sure that it just feels right. I see. So could you please look around and show me actually the decorations, how it looks like now during the wake? So what did you change actually? So I remember there was a dog. This is replaced.
This is like a lot more darker now since it's covering the main lights, one of the main light sources.
I love artistically, this is so much better.
And also I really love the fact that it guides the player, so it both looks good and it also guides you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the only thing is, could you look at him? This is in the darkness in a way, right? There's a light here, right? But this is kind of shaded. I don't know, don't we need some more light or something to just slightly better view it? It just looks... For me specifically as a director, I'm responsible for the process of closing the game. So making sure that everyone has finished their own work, checking with them where they are, reviewing those things, discussing with them all the problematic bits that they still find, making sure that everything is really finished and polished. Okay, so the Spina Kuba, tell us basically what we should do. So where I should go? I should go towards the ring?
You can check your messages now.
Okay, check my messages.
You find a message from an old friend.
Yeah, so the Spina, you were saying that this actually changed a lot from the
And
first setup.
wise, yeah, and animations. Yeah. But it looked a lot uglier. Now it looks really nice. Yeah.
Oh, so I won money.
Yes.
damn strong.
Is that random or no?
That's a narrative.
That guy with the cheering also is sliding. I don't know if you saw at the end.
I don't know.
This looks weird.
Yeah, because you can see his feet actually move, but he just doesn't move himself.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a broken work spot where the transform is turned off.
I'll do a pass on the crouch.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, this could work.
It's a really cool idea. I think it really works.
There was no bigger release since the release of Cyberpunk, and this is the first one. So it really needs to be good. It really needs to be solid. It really needs to be bulletproof, honestly. And we are doing everything we absolutely can to make sure the whole team is actually very, very much aware that that's the case, that we cannot screw it up.
Aus Entwicklersicht, also aus entwicklerischem Stolz, steht schon sehr, sehr viel auf dem Spiel, weil wir sehen das also auch für uns so ein bisschen als die Möglichkeit, ich sag mal, da so ein bisschen so ein Comeback zu machen. Night Cities Combat Zone, beziehungsweise Dogtown, wie wir es in dem Spiel nennen, hat auch viele Elemente dann zum Beispiel von Las Vegas, wo alles ein bisschen bigger than life ist, wo alles größer, fetter und krasser sein muss, wo dann all die großen Corporations oder so angefangen haben, wahnsinnige und fantastische Hotelanlagen aufzubauen, riesige Einkaufszentren, um irgendwie dem Tourismus da gerecht zu werden. Und aufgrund von verschiedenen Situationen in der Welt, politisch, aber auch klimabedingt, ist es halt dazu gekommen, dass dieser Distrikt super verfallen ist.
Night City is a place where I can imagine people really want to go there. As bad as things are, you look at it and it's beautiful. It's the city of dreams, right? It's the place that tells you anything can happen to you here if you work hard enough. And, in some ways, it's a commentary on, the idea of America and the American dream. The ability for a poor person to become a rich person is sort of the founding myth of the city but all myths have a grain of truth, right? To quote Sapkowski, the fact that that is allowed to happen is the thing that deludes everybody into thinking that it could happen. Why would I contemplate changing the system? Because this system is how I'm going to be a billionaire. So yeah, it's definitely possible. That's the release valve on the whole system is, yeah, you let some people do that, and the system is built that way. This is a world where the question of what to do after capitalism is so far receded into the impossible that no one really contemplates it anymore. Can the people of Night City ever rebel? Can there ever be a revolution in the cyberpunk world? Yes, if it were a real place, but it's not a real place. it's an IP.
This is M54 News broadcasting with a breaking story for you. A conference
Part of the thing is that we're producing a product, right? You know, this is a capitalist enterprise, and for anyone out there who wants Cyberpunk to be more revolutionary, I think it's important to know that, like, there's a phrase in leftist circles, you can't dismantle the master's house with a master's tools. We're a big corporation, and part of our business is IP. And part of the integrity of the IP is to say that, well, okay, it can't change too much. It can't change too much too quickly because it's a product. And the thing that people want from the product is dystopian, capitalist hellscape. That's what they want.
Before we go, apologies for the precautions. I only ever risk so much. Sometimes it's just safer to shove the barrel of a Malorian between a Troon's ribs, even if he is on your side. It's nothing personal. No hard feelings, I hope.
We are working together with Idris Elba, right, who's starring as one of the characters in Phantom Liberty. Like, you as a company, right, like, you don't do things like this when you don't believe in your game, right? Like, we're really investing a lot in that game. So there's a lot of things riding on it. For me, satisfying for me, when I managed to get it from that point of really like having an idea and like bringing it up home and making it look really good, you know, from like zero to something really beautiful. Like, this garden here didn't exist, right, at all, completely. There was just a balcony, right, and the developer didn't know what to do with this place. And when I bought it, I had this idea, okay, maybe I'll do this here. And, you know, like, not everything worked out that I managed to do, that I wanted to do, but it's really, really close. You know, it's close enough that I think, like, you know, it's already okay. You know, but yeah, I've been perfectionist all my life, and I struggle with that all the time, honestly. I came from a family that was not like really poor, but it wasn't also like wealthy in any way. When I was home, already like first thing that we had to do was just to go to work on the fields with my parents, or I took the cows for pasturing. It was always something to do. It was very rare, actually, that we had nothing to do at the given time. In Poland, we had this really legendary magazine called Secret Service. And everyone at that age was reading Secret Service. And Secret Service was about games. But I didn't have a computer yet, so I didn't know actually how to play computer games. I had no idea how you do that. Like, I've never seen that. But when I was taking the cows for pasturing, I always packed Secret Service to my bag, sat down in the grass with my cows, and I was just reading those. And there you had like reviews of games, and I was like playing those games in my imagination. I was like imagining how it is to actually play those games. After many years of life like that, I just knew that I'm so much behind of other kids in school. They were talking about movies they watched. They were talking about comic books. They were talking about music they listened to. I knew none of that. And I felt like I'm so behind with everything. And when I was like, I think maybe like 17, 18, I started thinking about like school, okay, where I can do. And then I started dreaming about going to Warsaw to study in Warsaw University. Because like for me, it was like, yeah, I want to go to big city where I will actually have all that culture, you know, the books, the movies, the music around me. And I couldn't have it in my village. When you're working in the AAA industry as I am, so AAAs are those like big games with gigantic budgets that are produced for many years and they have like a global reach. When you're working in AAA industry, there is maybe 5, 6 games that you can make in your whole life. Because each of them takes 5, 6, 7 years, sometimes even 10 years to build, right? So every single time, it takes a long time to really get to the point that you can like put that game there.
Come touch me like I'm an ordinary man. Have a look in my eyes. Underneath my skin there is a violence. It's got a gun in its hands. Ready to make.
Ich habe Anfang 2013 diesen ersten Teaser gesehen, also quasi diese Ankündigung von CD Projekt Red, hey, wir arbeiten jetzt an einem Cyberpunk-Spiel. Und ich weiß noch, dass ich unfassbare Gänsehaut hatte.
Spätestens 2015, da wurde über Cyberpunk geredet und alle hatten Bock drauf. Und weil man auch CD Projekt Red eben vertraut hat, weil sie mit The Witcher einfach ein unheimlich gutes Spiel abgeliefert haben. Also hat man als Gamer gedacht oder auch als Mensch aus der Games-Branche an sich, ne? Und das wird der Wahnsinn, das wird richtig geil, das wird das Spiel des Jahrzehnts.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else.
Es waren in Trailern, ganz am Anfang war so eine Hochbahn oder U-Bahn zu sehen, in der ein Charakter gefahren ist. Ja, natürlich wollen die Leute dann wissen, kann ich mit der U-Bahn fahren? Wohin kann ich mit dieser U-Bahn fahren? Und so haben sich diese Erwartungen an Cyberpunk 2077 auf Basis des Gezeigten immer weiter aufgeblasen.
Es gab von dem Spiel ja schon alles, bevor es das Spiel gab. Es gab Jacken, es gab irgendwelche Figuren, die du bekommen hast und so. Die wurde ja wirklich toll der Bauch gepinselt.
Today is the day the Cyberpunk 2077 chair from Secret Club arrived. I could get my hands on one. I got it.
Look. Ich glaube, spätestens wenn man Keanu Reeves als Johnny Silverhand sieht, dann hat es einen auf jeden Fall gecatcht.
Aktienkurse sind gestiegen ohne Ende und alle hatten einfach Bock auf dieses Spiel.
Da war einfach eine unfassbare Spannung drin und jedes Informationshäppchen, was es zu diesem Spiel gibt, das war voll das Ding.
So ein bisschen hatte man auch das Gefühl, dass CD Projekt Red vielleicht sogar Freunde von einem sind, die ein Spiel für einen gestalten.
Die sind total auf unserer Seite. Die sind immer auf der Seite der Spielerinnen und Spieler. Das ist nicht einfach irgendein Konzern, der am Ende des Tages auch Geld verdienen muss oder der auch bestimmten wirtschaftlichen Zwängen unterworfen ist.
Dass sie eben nicht die Leute, die Fans sind, abziehen wollen mit Ingame-Käufen oder was auch immer, sondern dass sie sich einfach kümmern.
Ich glaube, deswegen war auch das Marketing so gut, weil es so community-nah war. Man hat regelmäßige Updates gebracht und dann kamen diese sogenannten Yellow-Postings immer wieder auf Twitter, wo sie dann das Spiel verschoben haben.
Und dann sollte es aber rauskommen am 10. Dezember 2020. Und das Spiel wurde ja auch noch für die alten Konsolen veröffentlicht, sprich für PlayStation 4 und Xbox One. Ich selber habe gedacht, ja, okay, dann spielst du es mal auf der Konsole. Das war eine schlechte Idee.
Die technischen Probleme von Cyberpunk 2077 auf den Konsolen, da weiß man gar nicht, wo man anfangen soll.
Das Spiel stürzt sofort ab. oder ich laufe hier zwischen irgendwelchen Pixelklumpen rum.
NPCs sind einfach stehen geblieben, haben dubioseste Posen eingenommen. Es gab überall Verformungen von Gesichtern. Leute sind durch Böden geglitscht. Wenn du einen PC hattest oder eine Next-Gen-Konsole, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X oder S, dann konntest du das Spiel spielen. Aber es waren nicht die Versprechungen drin, die du geglaubt hattest zu bekommen. Ich glaube, das, was vielen Leuten im Kopf geblieben ist tatsächlich das Polizeisystem. Das war einfach nicht vorhanden. Du hast dort eine Straftat begangen, dann ist ein Polizist aufgeploppt, der war einfach da. Und hat sich dann auch nicht verfolgt, wie es der Fall war. Es war einfach nicht glaubhaft. Es gab keinen Multiplayer, mit dem haben sie auch beworben. Die Welt war leblos, karg. Die Menschen sind nicht ihrem täglichen Business nachgekommen, sondern sind eher im Kreis gelaufen. Es gab einfach unheimlich viele Dinge, die sie angepriesen haben, die nicht im Spiel waren und die einfach auch keinen Spaß gemacht haben. Ganz ehrlich gesprochen, du hast dich verarscht gefühlt. Es schwebte so ein kleiner Geruch von fast sogar Betrug im Raum, weil dieses Spiel einfach nicht funktioniert hat.
Dann fragt man sich natürlich auch, wussten die, dass das nicht gut läuft, aber haben sie es einfach behauptet in der Hoffnung, dass sie es noch hinkriegen?
Und das ging ja sogar so weit, dass selbst Sony dann gesagt hat, ey, wir nehmen das Spiel erstmal aus dem Shop raus, was, glaube ich, bis dato noch nie vorgekommen ist. Gerade bei so einem AAA-Spiel. Wir sprechen ja wirklich von dem meist erwarteten Spiel des Jahres. So, alle wollten dieses Spiel spielen.
Das war wirklich ein großes Fiasko und das hat es in diesem Maße noch nie gegeben.
Ich meine, der Aktienkurs ist immens eingebrochen.
Und das auf eine drastische Art und Weise, wie man sie selten, ich glaube, überhaupt am Aktienmarkt beobachten kann, außer bei ganz großen Skandalen. Und daraufhin folgte dann natürlich auch die Klage von diversen Investoren. Tja, wie konnte das passieren?
I can try to explain what went wrong, and it's difficult to. I don't think like one person has a complete comprehensive view of everything that went wrong, you know, with that. Like one thing was that we just had too little time.
From the distance, we know that we should spend more time on polishing the tech aspects of the game, to give more time to the team. Because the team is great.
Es stellt sich heraus, dass es nicht so leicht ist, eine neue IP zu entwickeln. Ja, es ist ja nicht so, dass wie bei Witcher, wo wir den 3. Teil gemacht haben, sondern es war das erste Cyberpunk-Spiel. Und so fanden wir uns relativ schnell in der Situation zusammen mit dem Erarbeiten von der neuen IP und der Story und wie das sein sollte, wo wir halt wirklich eine lange Zeit nicht herausfinden konnten, wie dieses Spiel jetzt funktionieren soll. Was ist denn jetzt Cyberpunk 2077? Und wir haben sehr, sehr viele Prototypen erzeugt, ne? Und sehr viele Ideen gehabt und verworfen. Teilweise in so einer Frequenz, dass ich eine Location gebaut habe und dann eine Woche später, ich wusste, dass die in einer Woche nicht mehr gebraucht wird. Das hat sich das so überschlagen. Und ich glaube, das war auch der Zeitpunkt, an dem ich persönlich am nahesten war, die Firma zu verlassen.
I think like partially the issue was located also in our production methods, you know, that we simply just didn't know, a lot of us simply didn't know that completely where we are, you know, with that game.
We missed one element, that the game needs technical excellency. And it was my fault because our games are super complex, super big, super complex, pretty long when it comes to narration. It's a constellation of quests, and I thought that world building is the most important thing for me, and narration. So I was focusing on that, and I missed this point, how big, how important is technical excellency.
Ich glaube, wir haben einfach nach Witcher 3 nicht so aufgeräumt intern, wie wir dachten zu dem Zeitpunkt, dass wir es gemacht haben. Und entsprechend haben wir viele unserer alten Fehler, mit denen wir bei Witcher 3 davongekommen sind, wiederholt. Und diesmal war das Projekt aber so viel größer, so viel komplexer, so viel mehr Leute drin, dass wir damit einfach dann auf die Fresse geflogen sind. Ich weiß noch ganz genau, wie ich am Abend vor dem Launch ins Bett gegangen bin und ich dachte echt noch so, okay, cool, morgen gucke ich in meinen Twitter-DMs und schaue, wie das Feedback ist und morgen werde ich den ganzen Tag Streams gucken und irgendwie so schauen, wie die Leute das spielen und habe mir dabei nicht sehr viel Böses gedacht. So, und dann bin ich aufgewacht und mein DM-Postfach war halt irgendwie voller Pöbeleien und Morddrohungen und all sowas. Also das war schon wirklich sehr heftig und es war ja, ein krasses Aufwachen.
I was getting death threats every day. There was a time after the release that I was getting death threats every day. On every platform. I was getting it on Facebook, I was getting it on Twitter, I was getting it on Instagram. The only thing I could do at that time was just to, mute some of the platforms, mute some of the media, mute some of the, email addresses, people, because I just couldn't take it.
I stopped reading. I decided to close and to quit with Twitter and not to read any comments. I got this information, I knew where we are, and you could read it from the faces of the team every day. And so I decided to not kill myself with this, but just to go and fix. And this is my job. I thought that this is my job to continue and fix the game.
I couldn't recognize what we are doing. We were so different. And I loved the previous company. Like, we were really original with our marketing, with the way we talked to the players, and I loved that. And then when release happened, everything changed. Literally everything changed. We started acting differently. We started talking to them differently. We were so cautious about everything. There was like no jokes, nothing.
Ich glaube, das Werkeln da ist halt das, was meinen Geist dann wirklich beschäftigt, auch im Nachhinein. Und wenn man dann komplett weg ist mal und einfach sich auf so eine Sache konzentrieren kann, der für mich so ein bisschen so eine reinigende Wirkung hat. Die Pandemie habe ich ja wirklich im Schatten von Cyberpunks Launch und auch dem letzten Jahr der Entwicklung erlebt. Ihr könnt euch vorstellen, wie so eine Entwicklung ganz am Ende entsprechend stressig ist. Wenig Ventile, irgendwie was anderes zu machen. Und dann der Launch selber, also da habe ich das im März 21, habe ich echt gemerkt, wie das an die Substanz ging. Ich glaube, ich hatte während der Pandemie das erste Mal eine Anxiety-Attack. Und das war dann schon so ein Moment, wo ich dachte, okay, krass, so fühlt sich das also an. Ich wohne jetzt hier seit 2010, bin dann 2013 nach Warschau gezogen, hatte aber die Wohnung hier dann weiter noch und bin dann jetzt seit 2020 wieder quasi Vollzeit hier. Zunächst nur wegen der Pandemie und dann aber seit 2021 dann offiziell, dass ich dann von hier aus arbeite. Nach dem Release, das war halt eine echt furchtbare und echt beschissene Zeit. Und ich glaube in dem Sinne schon, dass mir halt dann der Aufenthalt in Berlin da gut getan hat.
Yeah, there's more and more reds coming in, I see. I was angry. I was so angry on what happened, because it was 5 years of my life. and I was so angry, and like took that and I just put it into action and tried to like work on it. So I started talking to our like community team, and I told them like, hey, I want to start streaming the game, and I want to go there to the players and literally like on my own personal Twitch channel just started and just like go there to them with no moderation whatsoever, just talk to them.
Hello, my dears. How are you doing? I missed you so much. Was it on a beat? Was it on a beat? Yes. Was it? Was it? Let's go, my dears. Okay, so...
It felt so good to actually be able to finally talk to them, you know, and be able to get to know the people that actually are behind, you know, all the comments and everything. And they came there. And then patch after patch, just incremental improvements, you know, on all of the fields, you know, because everyone was just fixing things and patching things and improving them on different sides, you know. And it got better. Actually, it got better.
Pablo, I was expecting this question.
Careful. Lovely. Great looking place. Nice to see you. Should I leave my shoes off? Yeah. Okay.
We are showing to the journalists for the first time Phantom Liberty, the expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 that we've been working on for quite some time. So we have journalists coming from all over the world, really stars, really influential people that will be going to showing our game. They will play our game, and then they will afterwards have an interviews with us as well. So because of that, it's kind of scary and stressful.
We should hide all of those things, right?
Yeah, but the guys, they live here, so, but yeah, we'll hide it.
I think everything will be fine. We just need to like clean up this place a bit, you know, so it looks more presentable.
I think you pretty know what will be happening for the next 2 days. We will be showing our game in suits, and we will be showing our game during the Summer Game Fest play days. And just after playing the game, they will be able to have the interviews with tandem groups. Good.
Awesome.
Okay, so now...
Yeah, let's go there.
So now we can go to the suits, right?
Is there some way we can...
No, dobra, dzięki. Ja wiem, że to ogarniesz, tylko po prostu wiesz. Co tam, Adamie?
Jak odpaliliśmy builda...
Słyszałem, pisał Gabe, no.
To za każdym razem, wiesz, pop-upują na samym początku...
Widziałem, za rękami.
Czy tak samo było w Warszawie, czy...
Nie. No kurde, wiesz, grałem w to sam osobiście. Nie było czegoś takiego, Adamie, że szedłeś i ludzie znikali albo się pojawiali na widoku. Takich bugów nie mieliśmy. Może to jest kwestia po prostu cache'a, bo to są wszystko świeżo instalowane maszyny. To są świeże konsole i po prostu tak jest, no. Zresztą we wszystkich grach tak jest, że zagrasz po prostu raz czy 2 razy i jest, po prostu potem lepiej działa, nie? No musimy zobaczyć, wiesz, no kurna, nie było tego buga po prostu, żeby to fiksnąć.
We don't have the long demo saves, right? This is all short demo.
Yeah, I need to load them.
Okay, that's fine. Let's just continue then. We don't know what the issue is. I assume that the issue is caching the appearances.
Yes.
So we just need a shit ton of NPCs. So, because that's the best we can do. Like, this is the biggest stress test we can do on the save. Like, for instance, look at the red. Red was never this
I
pink.
know, I know.
This is something...
This isn't pink to me. This is just, it's much brighter red, yes.
Like, for instance, those lights, right? They are always should be red, and they're pink right now. This is for sure. This one and this one. This is supposed to be normal red. We are checking right now because we have an issue that it seems
that some of the appearances are not like loaded quick enough, and it loads way too slow, and because of that they disappear on full view. It's kind of shit that it is like this. So we need to. And it seems like the only problem is that this machine wasn't ever like really used to cache those appearances before, and that's why it does it. But to do that, I need to like go through a whole demo on all the platforms. You can't imagine. I mean, you probably can. How many iterations it took to get there, to get to this point.
I can imagine. Exactly.
That was.
It's not that easy to notice unless you're like, I hope that doesn't happen.
Wow. Yeah, it crashed. Yeah.
It kind of got messed up.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, it hard crash on actually pulling the brakes. We need to play it. We need to play it much more, basically, because it just wasn't used, and I see it like it's every single time that shit.
Well, we can stay here all night just playing the game.
Yeah, I'll just stay as long as needed. I'll just fucking play. I remember when we shipped Witcher 3 and we shipped both expansions and so on, and the reason why I really wanted to stay in the studio was that because they were doing Cyberpunk and I felt it would be tough. And the fact that I felt it's gonna be difficult really made me want to do it. And then after the launch, when not everything went as we want, you know, it was really difficult actually, it made me even more want to stay. I mean, you know, Cyberpunk, you know, had such a troubled launch. It still sold over 20 million copies, right? Like at this point, even though it was so difficult, it was still a huge success.
Ich glaube, am ersten Tag des Releases war dieses Geld schon wieder eingespielt. Also ich nehme an, dass Anleger, vielleicht auch die Führungsetage, dass es da Druck gab, ganz logisch. Also es gibt ja keinen anderen Grund dafür außer Geld. Warum willst du sonst ein unfertiges Spiel rausbringen?
Ich würde sagen, dass CD Projekt dieses Spiel zu dem Zeitpunkt veröffentlicht hat, um wirtschaftliche Ziele zu erfüllen. Ja, um den Investoren auch sagen zu können, schaut mal, die Entwicklung, die wir uns vorgenommen haben für diese Firma, unser Umsatzwachstum, unser Gewinnwachstum, was wir in den Geschäftsberichten versprochen haben, was wir uns vorgenommen haben, das können wir erreichen. Und das Jahr 2020 war dafür elementar wichtig, weil das einfach das Jahr war, in dem sie gesagt haben, hier kommt Cyberpunk 2077, unser neues großes Spiel. Also sie hätten sich's gar nicht leisten können, zumindest aus ihrer damaligen Sicht, zu sagen, nee, das verschieben wir aufs nächste Jahr oder das kommt in 2 Jahren.
We never released the game because of the investors. It's an additional pressure from the outside, but it doesn't work that way. Money allows us to create games. It was always like that. It wasn't the first goal at all. We are proud that we are safe financially, but everything is for the next project. And it's not bullshit. This is how it works into the project.
Was dann natürlich hohe Wellen geschlagen hat, war die Ankündigung kurz vor Release, dass auch das Studio offiziell gesagt hat, ab jetzt müssen wir 6-Tage-Wochen anordnen, damit dieses Spiel ordentlich fertig wird. Und darauf Bezug nehmen gab es ja dann auch später so Enthüllungsposts mit anonymen Quellen, die dann halt das Ganze nochmal bestätigt haben und die auch nochmal gesagt haben, ne, Crunch wird halt hier hingenommen und das ist halt hier scheinbar Teil der Unternehmenskultur.
There are controversies about the definition of Crunch, because here we had over hours, so we were paying a lot of money for those extra hours. Crunch is when you force people to work and you don't pay extra money. I don't want to say that it's okay.
Crunch ist, dem Spiel gehört mein Leben. Ja, und ich stelle alles in meinem Leben hinten an und das nicht eine Woche lang oder 2 Wochen lang, sondern im Extremfall monatelang oder noch schlimmer sogar ein Jahr oder sowas. Also es ist quasi Überstunden hoch 10.
Und wenn du jetzt aber ein Team hast, das halt sagt, wir wollen aber trotzdem, dass die Qualität des Spiels nicht nur eine 7 ist oder eine 8 in der Wertung, sondern halt wir zielen auf die 9+, dann hat man ein Problem. Weil auf einmal hast du halt eine riesige Menge an Leuten, die irgendwie das besser wollen. Du hast einen Zeitplan, der komplett kaputt ist. Und die Kombination sorgt halt dafür, dass du halt irgendwie in einer Situation landest, wo Crunch der einzige Ausweg ist.
Technically now.
Oh yeah. Must be weird though. Like he's gonna.
I assume they're waiting for elevator. it's like the main thing in this building. You just stand here waiting for elevators.
Should I not have branded material?
Hello?
No, it's fine.
Hello?
Hey, let's go.
So nice to see
Look
you.
at that. Come here. What are you doing? Stop.
It's been many years.
There's troublemakers
It's been many
everywhere.
years.
What is happening? Yeah. Put this over here. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, come here. That's too late. Oh, it's too late.
Yes,
Come on, it's too late.
Despina is a quest designer in my team, so yes, we work together.
Thank you.
And Gosh is our event.
Yeah, we know each other. Like from
Let's go.
No,
The windows are not
dangerous.
that Windows are not that dangerous. So
Yeah.
what we have for you, we have 3 different builds.
Okay.
We have PC, Xbox, Series X, and we have PlayStation. So what would you like to play actually? Because all of them are available. On PC we have of course the path tracing version, but you can pick whatever you want. And we'll just stick to that.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want me to play on, I'll play.
I mean, we just want to show that we have all the platforms. Okay, Jesse, so let me take a controller for you just for a second. I wanted to show you actually what saves we have for you, because like there's a lot of things that changed in the game.
Okay.
We'll like introduce you slowly through that. But we have 3 separate saves that will put you 1 hour into the story of Phantom Liberty. We want
Okay.
you to see you as much as we can. And we have 3 separate builds, as you can see. You have a Netrunner, the new Netrunner. You have the new Strong Solo and the new Fast Solo build. So, what bit would you like to go
So
with?
much pressure right off the bat.
No worries.
I would play something where it's just you
Fast
beat the
solo.
crap out of everyone. Yeah.
Fast Solo will be probably. Okay, if that's the case, then cool, my friend. Enjoy.
Thanks.
For first time, you have someone sitting with the controller and playing your game, and you're there, you might say something, and you know you can add some narration, but very little, probably less is better, so they can really just get, you know, consumed by that experience, just sit there and so on. So it's really, so many things is riding on it.
Oh boy. I could
Yeah, you could like that.
try to dash over there.
Yeah, but I mean, you may die right now, but that's, you know, but that's okay, you know. Yeah, do you see those on the left? Like on some decorations, you can jump over and.
I just saw that now, and now that's all I'm looking for.
We need to check if we are able to deliver. So it's exciting. First reactions.
Excellent.
Hopefully enjoyable experience.
Yeah, of course. Hey. Yeah.
How do you like the game?
Boy, I am really excited to play. Mostly because there are a lot of new changes.
I try to see the most important elements and believe in what we should do or what we should change. I'm a Libra, so I wait for kind of an illumination inside of me, and I like to know for sure this is it. So we should go. That's alley. It can be better. It should be better. team believes that it's gonna be great. Hopefully, it will be the final proof that, as a company, we've changed the work culture here, and we invested a lot.
I feel really cool right now, and not very nervous. Not very nervous, but the release is the moment. So it's always there are always question marks in our heads. What if? We'll see.
There is this one girl who's actually following the Twitter following the game since a long time, and she said, as someone who has been there from day one and seeing all this now, it's making me stupidly emotional. Literally can't explain with words how much this means to me, and you guys keep on caring for it and delivering, eternally grateful. And then there is a crying face and 2 hearts. I think I'm the most happy about that we actually gave them reason and a proof, and sort of like in a way we confirmed that it made sense, you know, to really believe in us. There's I would say still a fear in me that maybe, you know, someone said something, you know, wrote something mean, maybe they just didn't like it, maybe they just didn't think it's worth it, you know. So there's one thing. Another thing is, like, I already think about the future in terms of we need to just go back and just like deliver, right? We need to go back to the game, finish everything. Like, we're almost there. There's not that much left, but that very, very end, that last push, that last few months of work, this is always the toughest.
Not great, but I can't really comment much more than other than say that personally I don't feel super great about it. Like, it sucks, but I have to be careful what I say about that, so yeah.
I had to let go 2 people in all that teams, and yeah, I mean, it's always painful to do this because, like, the thing is that we had like a nice relationship, I would say, with those people. So I think we have done it as well as we only could. I don't know, like, I mean, in my history, I had to let go a couple of people. Always it was just basically because of performance reasons before, so I guess it's just also a bit clearer and easier, you know, to do those things. In this case, it's just always harder, you know.
I think that there's always going to be a tension there, and I would refer to something that I said earlier. Many of the people here want to do sort of anti-capitalist critique through Cyberpunk. We're not going to dismantle the master's house with the master's tools. And ultimately, you're right, we do work for a big corporation. We're putting out an entertainment product. And that tension and irony is certainly present in our minds all the time.
ist halt echt scheiße. Ich glaube, früher war es dann auch teilweise so, dass wir halt aufgrund dieses Crunches und halt diesem Zeitdruck die Antwort einfach daran gesucht haben, Leute anzuheuern. Und im nächsten Schritt dann überlegt haben, okay, was machen wir denn jetzt als nächstes und haben wir Arbeit für die? Und leider ist es eben so, dass in einigen Bereichen wir da auch dann so eine Überbesetzung hatten.
Man sagt mir, es sind 3 Minuten noch. Aber könnten auch 5 werden, ihr wisst's ja.
Krass. Alter, wie viele Leute das einfach sind. Wir geben hier unser Community-Event. Dazu haben wir halt 350 Leute aus der Community eingeladen, die konnten sich dann bewerben und dann haben wir da die größten Fans sozusagen ausgesucht, dass die halt hier mit uns feiern. Das ist halt auch für uns irgendwie so eine Art und Weise, Dankbarkeit zu zeigen für unsere Community. Die treue Fans waren eben nicht nur in Zeiten, wo es halt gut lief, sondern eben auch gerade, wo es scheiße lief.
Actually, this guy is a bit of a cyber geek, and as you can see, Ryan is really good at this. He's found a way.
Das Spannende ist wirklich, all diese Neuerungen, die sie jetzt einbauen, sind Sachen, die Leute damals vermisst haben am Hauptspiel. Also einfach ein, hey, wir haben euch gehört, wir lassen euch nicht im Stich, wir haben nochmal richtig viel Arbeit dann auch reingesteckt, um dieses Spiel auch für alle, selbst wenn ihr das Add-on nicht kauft, besser zu machen, was sehr cool ist.
Ich glaube, mittlerweile ist es an einem Stand angekommen, wo man sagen kann, Cyberpunk ist jetzt das Spiel, was es zum Launch hätte sein sollen.
Ich nenne es mal, das ist die Versöhnung. Wenn das jetzt einfach gut funktioniert, von vornherein Spaß macht, dann könnte langsam wieder viel gut sein.
Es ist ja irgendwie jetzt so wirklich so ein Full Circle, den wir damit geschafft haben. Also da ist ja wirklich alles dabei gewesen. Ne? Der Hype vor dem Start, dann, ich sag mal, der Drama von dem Release und die schwere Zeit, das tiefe Tal, was da irgendwie dazwischen lag und ja, sehr viel harte Arbeit und dann echt so Herzblut, das eben dann reinging und Trotz auch, das dann eben da so reinging, um jetzt dieses Update, also das 2.0 Update und eben Phantom Liberty rauszubringen und ja, und es tut halt auch unglaublich gut, jetzt zu sehen, dass all dieser Aufwand sich anscheinend gelohnt hat. Und wenn man dann hier rumläuft und die Leute alle hyped sind wegen Cyberpunk, das ist schon schön.
I've gotten more confident with my position in the company. I really like this team. I really like this studio. I like this IP. In some ways, I feel almost married to it in some ways. Is it a conclusion? In some respect, but at the moment it feels more like a new beginning.
I have doubts all the time, to be honest. I feel like, objectively speaking, it's really solid, I think. But will it really be something that players will love, you know, and will fall for it? You never know it, you know. You just never know it. I have no idea. I need to work and just hope for the best, to be honest. I'll focus on what's in my power.